So now we're at the phase where it's time to decide what features are going to be included within your MVP. We've talked about chunking and scoping and prioritizing, and now we need to determine what features are going to go into version 1, our MVP, and what features are going to be saved for a future version of our product. One way to do this is to preserve the must-have, the performance benefits, and the delighters that we've talked about before, and then list each one of those features off to the right, with the highest priority feature being to the left. So for the must-have number 1, feature A is higher priority than feature H. For performance benefit number 1, feature C is a higher priority than J, is a higher priority than M. To decide which feature chunks are in your MVP and follow-on, in this example, we've assumed that all of your features are going to be included in version 1 or version 2 of your offering. That may or may not be true in reality, but we're going to recognize that we don't have the time, the money, the expertise, or the signal from our customer that they are going to be willing to pay to make sense to jam every feature into the MVP. It's no longer a minimum viable product then, it might be a maximum viable product, which is not what we're going for. So we're going to shift, in this scenario, 6 features into version 1, the MVP. The other 6 features are going to be pushed off into version 2. That might come a few months later, or maybe a year later if you're doing a physical product. In this scenario, for our must-haves, we put all of the must-haves in version 1. That probably is true more often than not, and that if it's a must-have, it is a must-have for the customer to want your product. So all of those are there. In the second scenario, we have feature C, that's performance benefit 1. And then we have a delighter. Again, that's not the ultimate product we have in mind, but it's enough in this scenario that we think it's viable, that we can get it out into the market and begin getting some feedback and see how people feel about it. By the end of specifying your feature set with the MVP, you form some hypothesis about these target customers. You form the hypothesis about their underserved needs. And from there, you've been able to define that value proposition that you're going to pursue with your product to make it better and different than what's out there. Fourth, you've been able to identify the top feature ideas that you think are going to address the needs, and you've segmented them into chunks. You prioritized them, you factored return on investment into that decision, and you've selected a set of features that are going to be in your MVP that you believe is going to be valuable to your customer and that it makes sense to integrate within that version 1 offering.